In the name of Allah, the most glorious and the most beneficial. Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome to lecture number 13. In today's lecture, we will be covering reading section 2.2, Glory and Hope. It's a speech by Nelson Mandela. This lecture we are covering under unit number 2. The title of the unit is Hope and Aspiration, and you can open your book on page number 56 for this lecture. As you all know that before going towards the formal reading, we first of all study who's the person who is delivering this speech. So we will be discussing first of all who is Nelson Mandela. Nelson Rufus Mandela, 18 July 1918 and 5 December 2013, was a South African anti-apartheid revolutionary political leader and philanthropist who served as President of South Africa from 1994 to 1999. So, Nelson Mandela is known as the first black President of South Africa, and he was a person who loved to serve humanity. Philanthropist means that he was a lover of human race, he was a lover of humanism. And anti-apartheid means that he was fighting for the rights of the discrimination that are carried out in institutions related to any, you can say, racial group, any ethical group, or any minority on the basis of some certain issues. So Nelson Mandela was also a leader who was fighting for the black people, because there was a rule that the black people, they were discriminated on the basis of their color, race and different things. So he was a leader, a political leader. And why a revolutionary? Because he worked for the rights of black people, and he tried to remove each and every, you can say, discrimination that was carried out on the basis of their color and their ethnic group. So he tried to vanish all that thing from South Africa. And one thing more, it's not mentioned over here. He was imprisoned for 27 years, and after releasing from that imprisonment, he became the, you can say, first black president. He was imprisoned because he was fighting for the rights. He was the country's first black head of the state and the first elected in a fully representative democratic election. His government focused on dismantling the legacy of apartheid by tackling institutionalized racism and fostering racial reconciliation, ideologically an African nationalist and socialist. So what he did, he basically tried to remove the things, the discrimination that were carried out on the basis of color, race, ethnic group in different institutions, in different places. So he tried to vanish all those discrimination that were being carried out. So ideologically he was an African nationalist and socialist. Nationalist means that he belonged to a certain group, an African group, and socialist because he was trying to focus on the civil rights of the people, and he was fighting for them. He served as the president of African National Congress Party from 1991 to 1997. Okay, so the speech that is titled is Glory and Hope. So glory means that high renown or honor won by notable achievement. So why the title is Glory? Because he achieved he achieved certain achievement. He achieved this presidentship with the help of different votes. And hope means because he was trying to give a ray of hope to the people that Africa will be different, just like the way we have discussed King Martin Luther Jr., because he was also working for the black people. So he was also trying to give them a hope by saying that when I'll be your president, what are the things that I'm going to like work on, what are the things that need to be improved in our country. So Nelson Mandela delivered this speech after having been elected president in South Africa's first multiracial election in 1994. Knowing that injustice of apartheid would be hard to overcome, Mandela asked the people to work together for peace and justice. So you can see that the theme, the main basic idea of this speech is he is trying to take the people together for peace and justice, and the way the injustice that is going on in the country, he is trying to remove that thing. Now, open up your book on page number 59. We are going towards the formal reading. Your Majesties, Your Royal Highnesses, distinguished guests, comrades and friends. So this is how a speech is delivered. As you all know, Your Majesties, Your Royal Highness are the words that we use for people to whom we are talking, who are sitting there. जैसे हम लोग कहते हैं Mr. President, Honorable Chief. Yes, this is the same way that Mandela is using. Today, all of us do, by the presence here and by our celebrations in other part of our country and the world, confer glory and hope to newborn liberty. Now what does that mean? He is trying to convince the people, not convince the people, he is trying to talk to the people, saying that here today we are celebrating something. And what is the thing that we are celebrating? Not only here, in other parts of our country also, in the world also. Because they are going to convert, they are going to somehow notice it, they are somehow trying to accept it. And what are they trying to confer and accept? They are accepting it that we have achieved something. Glory means we have achieved something very high. And after this achievement, we are hopeful. Why we are hopeful? Because we are going to give something, we are trying to introduce something new, and that is liberty. Means that everybody will be having their rights, their freedom to do whatever they want to do. So, why he is saying that glory? Because as in the previous slide, if you just look at here, he has been he has been selected or elected as the first president in South Africa's first multiracial election. So it means that there was an election that was going on between the white and black. So Mandela was selected as the first black president. That is why he is referring it to as glory. Out of the experience of an extraordinary human disaster that lasted too long must be born a society of which all humanity will be proud. So it means the way we have faced problems previously, the way we were being treated previously, we are definitely going to introduce something new. We are definitely going to introduce a society where such discriminations would be removed, where we are going to remove these things that we have faced previously. Our daily deeds as ordinary South Africans must produce an actual South African reality that will be reinforce humanity's belief in justice, strengthen its confidence in the nobility of the human soul, and sustain all our hopes for a glorious life for all. So he is saying the work that we will carry out in our South Africa, ordinary South Africa, our daily deeds as ordinary South Africans, which means that we are the normal South African people. The way we will carry out our work, it is going to produce a new society. How it is going to produce a new society? Because it is going to reinforce humanity's belief in justice. Means that the way we have lost our hope in justice, the way the previous government leaders, they have treated us, they have discriminated us, we are going to remove that thing. We are going to now bring justice. So everybody will be confident, and everybody will be hopeful for a new life, for a new society, and for a new upcoming life. All this we owe both to ourselves and to the people of the world who are so well represented here. Now he is saying that this is the thing that we are supposed to do. We are supposed to work for human soul. We are supposed to do work for sustaining, for maintaining justice in this society. This is not only for us, but it is for the people who are present here, who have fought a lot, who have struggled a lot. And why we are supposed to do this thing? Because we are indebted. We need to do it because वो कहते हैं ना कि एक कर्जा हमारे ऊपर चढ़ा है उन लोगों का जो फाइट कर चुके हैं हमारी सस्टेनेबिलिटी के लिए, हमारी फ्रीडम के लिए, जो लोग फाइट कर चुके हैं उसके लिए अब हमें काम करना है. To my compatriots, I have no hesitation in saying that each one of us is intimately attached to the soil of this beautiful country, as are the famous jacaranda trees of Pretoria and the mimosa trees of the Bushveld. So he is now comparing the things, that the way the famous trees of Pretoria and the famous trees of Bushveld, these things, the way they are here, the way they are attached to this beautiful soil, the way they are attached to this country, we are also attached to this country. Similarly, the way these trees, he is just trying to compare that the way a tree is like in a soil, it is fixed in a soil. We are also part of this soil. We are also fixed in this soil. We are part of this soil. Each time one of us touches the soil of this land, we feel a sense of personal renewal. The national mood changes as the season changes. So basically he is trying to say the way the thing that the nature is attached to soil and everything, we are also attached to it. Every time we touch it, we feel the sense of nationalism in our body, in our soul. We think that we are the people who belong to this land and this land is ours. We are moved by a sense of joy and exhilaration when the grass turns green and the flower blossoms. So blooms. So basically he is trying to say the way season change, like after winter there is spring, then summer, then autumn. The way the season change, we also change our mood, we also change our belief in the society, we also get attached to this society. Okay, that spiritual and physical oneness we all share with this common homeland explains the depth of the pain we are carried in our hearts as we saw our country tear itself apart in terrible conflict, and as we saw it spurned, outlawed and isolated by the people of the world, precisely because it has become the universal base of pernicious ideology, practice of racism and racial expression. We, the people of South Africa, feel fulfilled that humanity has taken us back into its bosom, that we, whom we outlawed not so long ago, have today been given the rare privilege to be honest, to be host to the nation of the world on our own soil. Basically, he is now trying to see and feel the people to feel the new glory and hope that we were facing different things. We were having a terrible conflict, means that the people, they were treating us so badly that we were thinking about our existence, that whether we belong to this country, this area or not. And also the way the country was treating it as an outlawed, means that there was no specific law for the people, and people were being treated so badly. And again, there was no, you can say, unique ideology, and the practice of racism and racial oppression means that people were treating us or the black people on the basis of their color, on the basis of their ethnic group. So there were long ago, there were different things that were going on this land, on this country. But now what the people of South Africa, we should now try to gain our humanity back. Now we should try to remove these things, and we should now treat the land as our land, and we should now fight for our glory, our hope, for our land, and for our freedom. So he is now convincing the people that yes, you were facing different problems, but the problems are now gone, and we are now having a way that how we are going to achieve our freedom, and how we are now we are hopeful that we will be having a good, glorious country. That's all for today. Thank you so much. See you next.